Hi guys, Stefan once more back here with another episode, another edition of Plentiful Plantful, and today I'm making cashew milk. As you can see here with today's arrangement, to the left of course as ever we have the blender, and flush in the centre there we have the cashew sitting in the bag, filtered water, and well, you might see to the left if I zoom right in, is a Brazil nut, and to the right of that is a single date. Now first of all what we want to do is of course add the cashew nuts, and again proportion wise I'm just going with how much I want to prepare, but just a heads up, so you want to make the milk, so the cashew milk, quite creamy. So what we've deposited there inside the blender is a fair amount, just add a few more for preference. So yeah, that's really the trick. So once I add the filtered water shortly, as you'll see, we want to get the mix quite creamy and thick. So it's not cashew cream per se, but certainly even as milk, we want it to be more on the thicker side rather than the thin watery side. Let's add the filtered water already now. Again, this is second nature for me in terms of the amount of water that I want to add, because I do prepare this mix quite frequently. But I'll just give you a little squiz down the device here to see how much indeed I have added to the mix. Not too much at all. Certainly you can see the cashews in there, and the water level is just up to there. So let's add the next ingredient, which is the single Brazil nut. I haven't soaked these cashew nuts, or indeed the Brazil nut, prior. Normally with other things like almonds, definitely you would need to soak things overnight, or at least for say 8 to 10 hours. But with this Brazil nut, which we're just going to literally plonk inside the glass blender there, you don't need to soak them as they're already quite soft. And the date, in this case, to add a bit of flavour. So you just need to use one date, you don't want to use too many. So now we're simply going to get our lid, and we're already practically there. Make sure that's on firmly. And it's on the wall, so let's hit our magic on button with the blue light showing, and let's hit the smoothie function on the right. So we'll just let that pulse up for a little bit more, a little bit longer, and it's certainly gathering pace now. Quite ferocious, isn't it? Now let's just pulse that a couple more times. So this little button here to my right, number 3, we'll just literally do that for say 5 to 10 seconds each time. Once more for the same amount of time roughly, let's hit that once again. Just a heads up on the pulsing, I find it gives a sudden jolt to proceedings, which helps just really consolidate the mix. So I just want to bring the camera above the blender here, so already you can see the milky mix is starting to take shape very nicely, and I'll just move right in there as far as we can see. That makes quite a good thumbnail, doesn't it? Maybe we can use that for this video indeed. Now I don't want to drop the camera in here, however, but you can see the bubbles have formed within the mix, and shortly we're going to actually now pour that into our magic cup here, our massive tea mug to the right, with our sieve. So let's pour our mix via this, or through this rather. So this is our filter, our buffer between the pulp, as you'll see shortly, of the nuts, particularly the cashews of course, and our liquid. So let's remove, or separate rather, those two. And yes, this is on a slightly precarious angle, as you can see here, but let's not worry too much about that, because we can still get the mix in if we're careful. So here goes our cashew milk. But I'm just going to tilt that, obviously, for practical purposes, to the centre a bit more. And hopefully you can see there the thickness of the pulp is being separated out from the liquid otherwise there. So let's further add to the cup. Let's not get off balance too much here. So it's quite tough doing this one-handed, but we're getting there. In fact, I'll give you a preview of how that's turning out, or looking so far. So let's carefully and neatly lift this off the top there, and we'll just rest it on top of the blender for now. So as you can see, inside our magic tea cup, a very big, cool coffee mug you might say, and I'm going to actually sample that, so watch me sample this in just 1 second. That's very good. Let's again move into the frame there, into the cup itself. As far as you can see, I will actually pour some of this now back just to get a nice shot of what that mix looks like when it comes out of the cup for you guys. There we go. Clear as day, white, consistent milky colour to rival any cow's milk for sure. And let's just again look at that lovely milky creamy texture going there, and of course this makes a great addition to any coffee, or even you can add this to smoothies and so forth. It's a very versatile mix, so there you have it. I hope that's been of use today. I've been Stefan from Plentiful Plantful, and see ya.